here then.
I'll change it.
Doesn't seem to, okay. Basically, we've worked closely with Sam and Forrest City Ratner to develop ridership projections. We've looked at what our existing ridership is, the additional ridership, and our goal is to make sure that we adequately serve our existing customers in addition to serving the new riders that will be coming to and from the arena. As Sam said, we focus primarily at post-game when we have a bit less service. Basically, frequencies are a little bit less at that hour, and the 5 and the B train, in some instances, would have already stopped running. Sam, can we go to the next slide? One of the things that we're planning on providing is to have gap trains. Gap trains are empty trains that are staged on unused tracks, or even potentially maybe on the southbound express track right at Atlantic Avenue, Barclays Center Station. That way, right as the game breaks, which we're going to be in constant communication with the arena, we'll have dispatchers that will be able to know kind of before, during, and after the events when people will be exiting the arena, so we can have these gap trains ready so that riders can fill these trains. This will protect trains that normally operate from getting overcrowded and should quickly, hopefully, dissipate the riders after the game. We're also planning on providing some gap trains Manhattan bound on the Q and Coney Island bound on the Q. Next, Sam. In terms of buses, again, pre-game, we think we have adequate service to accommodate folks, though we will be looking at ridership on those routes. Post-game, we're planning to have, on the bus side, what we call wildcat buses. They're kind of like the gap trains. We'll have buses staged in the vicinity of the arena, and those buses, if our existing buses get caught in traffic, we can dispatch these buses to ensure that there aren't gaps in service. They'll also be able to accommodate some surges in ridership if they occur, and we'll have dispatchers so that these buses can go on the various routes where we see there's issues. That's it. Now maybe we can turn it over to Hector Garcia for Arana.
So the railroad, we're going to connect Barclays Center to customers from Queens, Nassau, and Suffolk. We offer direct service for Rockaway and Hempstead trains, and connecting service at Jamaica for other ones. So we're going to focus on post-event. Right now, between 10 and 12, we offer about 4 trains. That's about half-hourly service. After the arena opens, we're going to be adding some shuttle trains to Jamaica, which we're going to go from 30-minute service to about 15-minute service. These shuttle trains are also going to be scheduled to optimize connections at Jamaica. I mean, for us, the key is after the event is just, communicating with the arena and monitoring the people leaving, and we'll adjust accordingly as needed.
Judy and Hector, thank you very much. We've worked very closely with the MTA. We're thrilled with their response. They looked at post-game service. Pre-game service, as I mentioned, is more than adequate. Post-game, they analyze those areas that they felt that needed some more attention. Long hour LIRR effectively going from 30 minutes to 15 minutes, doubling of service. And as you heard Judy, we have additional service on the Q line in both directions, on the 4 line and back. The other lines have a good frequency of service during that time. So we're really very delighted with the response that the MTA has provided. The parking strategy. Parking strategy is the first to discourage driving. One of the things that I've done for a long time is I have scared drivers away from different areas, and I've been very successful at doing it. We will scare drivers away from the area so that even people that are going to the arena may stay away from driving in the area. And that's an effective strategy for reducing traffic. Limiting on-site parking, that is being cut in half. All the transit is being promoted, driving is being discouraged. Parking is absent from marketing material, and we will keep lowering the expectation for drivers to find parking. Nonetheless, some people will elect to drive no matter what. And we learned that in the focus group, so there's not a thing that we can offer people short of giving them a limousine to get them out of their personal cars, and what would be the benefit of that. So limited circulation for those who insist on driving. We want to intercept the drivers as soon as they get off the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway. So we want to keep them from driving into the area. Those people that continue driving into the area, we're going to direct them to multiple facilities. But we will do this, so we're going to try to capture as many of those people as possible with pre-sale of spaces for reservation. Like going to a restaurant, you make a reservation to park, and it tells you the most direct route, and it directs you away from residential streets in getting there. This is the system that we're going to be using. It's called the Click and Park system. It's used at, I guess, about 100 sporting and event venues around the country. It's used at the Super Bowl. And we're going to have the software integrated with Barclays website. Because the Barclays website, you've already decided you are going to drive. There'll be a pre-sale of parking passes for a reserved spot in a parking lot. It could be the on-site lot, which is cut in half. It could be one of the 20 or so off-site parking facilities. It could be in the remote parking facilities that I'll show you, where we intercept the drivers. And we also have a program for 3 or more people in a car to reduce the number of cars for HOV spaces. This is the on-site parking spaces. Originally, in the EIS, there were 1,100 spaces. Right now, there are 565, but available to the public is 541 for events only, not general public parking, and only through the pre-sale. 24 are dedicated to the police department. Pacific Street will be the main access and egress points, with secondary access and egress on Dean and egress on Vanderbilt. The parking plan is being developed as we speak, the operations of the lot itself. We're looking at limiting circulation in the community, again, for those people that elect to drive, as we discourage them. We are entering into agreements with the parking facilities within a half mile so that we can distribute parking to different locations, and there could be a marketing strategy for each of those locations. So you decide if you're coming from the north to park in a spot in the north, if you're coming from the east to park in the east, or the west, whatever is more convenient to you to park in. The high occupancy vehicle spaces will be reserved at several of the facilities near the arena. We have 612, or at least 612 remote parking spaces. We're locating them, and we're right now talking to different operators right near the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway. So you can hop off the PQE in either direction, park in a facility, and from that facility, we will have a shuttle bus. We're in negotiations with a shuttle bus operator from Red Hook, a woman-owned business in Red Hook. So we actually send the buses back to Red Hook during various times. The shuttles will travel primarily along Atlantic Avenue, that will stick with primarily streets that already have buses on it. The arena block will be the pickup and drop off for the shuttle. So ordering no parking in near the BQE to the arena. And one of the reasons we focused on Atlantic Avenue or Flatbush Avenue was we wanted people to have an alternative mid-game that they decide to leave or a blowout and they decide to leave and not wait for the parking. There is a local bus or you can walk a mile or so. The bike network is robust and getting more robust every day. And we're going to have 400 parking spaces at the arena. And this gives you a little diagram of the parking spaces at the arena. And there'll be security staff during all the net games and other large events. And parking will always be accessible to the public. Pedestrian wayfinding will be provided to and from the arena on the arena block. And we're working with Downtown Brooklyn Partnership to include in their wayfinding system the Barclays Center. It might not be up on time for the arena opening, but shortly thereafter. Traffic wayfinding signs, there was concern that some of the people would be using 10th Avenue exit and coming through some of the local streets. We're going to sign it only to the major streets of Atlantic Avenue and Flatbush Avenue. Cross-marketing with arena businesses. This has not only the good effect for the fans and the good effect of working with the community, but it is a traffic strategy of spreading arrivals and departures. It is a very effective traffic strategy, and if you can spread arrivals, which are a little less concerned about, but if people can enjoy the local restaurants, local businesses, pre and post game, that is terrific for traffic flow. The program is being developed, and the Barclays Center is working with bids and with neighborhood merchants and organizations. We're looking at video promotions in the arena, information up on the website, mobile apps, and event programs. So a lot of cross-marketing, and we think that's a very good strategy. We're going to have a traffic control room, and we're going to have a transportation control room and a transportation coordinator in the arena. And that person will be communicating with the Joint Traffic Management Center, which is where the police sit in Long Island City, where the city DOT sits, the state DOT sits, and really they have their hands on everything that is going on in New York City. You can dispatch if there's emergency needs, they can dispatch tow trucks, they can change the traffic lights, they can change variable message signs, and it'll be a two-way street. If it's the third quarter and we learn that there is a problem with a subway train or there is a problem on the Brooklyn Queens Expressway, we can put it on the scoreboard, so to reduce congestion. And we also can then fine-tune things and assign personnel as needed. So this will be a very sophisticated way of communicating with the police, with the MTA, with the city DOT, with the Long Island Railroad, and others. Curbside around the arena block is going to be dedicated for either no standing or arena uses. We will have New York City Transit bus stops as we have on Flatbush Avenue, right at the front door, not the back door, right on Atlantic Avenue, right at the front door, not at the back door. We are looking at taxi and limousine vehicles, and I imagine what we may will soon have the Brooklyn taxis or borough taxis that will be included in using, in this case, the curbside of Atlantic Avenue, South Portland to Port Green, and you can see pickup drop-offs shown in purple at different locations. Those will be for momentary pickup drop-offs. The remote shuttle bus is shown in green, and then no standing anytime is shown in red. And this TDM work is ongoing. It will be monitored after opening. Today is a draft presentation because we want to hear from you in the 30-day public period. We'll get comments to be submitted. This is the website that Arana mentioned in the beginning. We will look at all of the comments, and hopefully there's some really good ideas out there that we can incorporate or tweak some of the improvements that we have shown you. And then we'll have a finalization of the TDM elements in the arena opening, but it's never a set in stone type plan. Following the arena opening, from day one, we will be out there. And looking at the effectiveness of the transportation plan, we will then be coordinating with the relative agencies. If something does go wrong, we'll be doing a post-mortem. If not, we'll just be communicating with the agencies on how they did and gathering information. There'll be adjustments as needed. And then there'll be a comprehensive survey. And this will be a survey not of people that we think will be going to Nets games, but these will be people who are shown up in the arena at the Nets games that we will be interviewing. So it's the most accurate form of measuring how people arrived and rolled splits. And that will be done early in 2013, and then there'll be a post-traffic study, and this has been worked out with New York City DOT, which has been a terrific assistance throughout this process. New York City DOT has helped us define a traffic study for this entire area. We will have traffic counters. You can see them out at numerous locations through the area. That will be done in the spring of 2013, and shortly thereafter we'll gather all the information and the survey information and be able to issue a report on the first 9 months or so of the arena being open. And at this point, I'm happy to take any questions, and I don't know if you should use the microphone.
It's